We back again with another episode of New Jersey Dogs. This kid, I hit up. I reach a lot of my kids through Instagram, and he got right back to me like ASAP, and was super enthusiastic about it. So I was like super enthusiastic about getting his episode done, getting everything done for this kid, because he did it ASAP for me, and I'm gonna do the same thing for him. Not taking any shots at any other kids. This kid's name is AJ Wingfield, and he's a quarterback. He's the second quarterback I'm doing on the show. He's a baller. Like I always say, he wouldn't be on the show if he wasn't a baller. Before I get into him, let's talk about where he's coming from. Ramapo. Ramapo is nice. Ramapo has won 11 state titles, and out of those 11 state titles, 6 of those state titles have been under one coach. And this coach's name is Drew Gibbs. He has been their head coach for 18 years. And like other coaches that I talked about, he is also on the top 50 winningest coaches list at number 26, the highest one I've talked about so far. His record as a coach is 144-48. They don't lose much. And they didn't lose this year at all. They were 13-0. This coach broke the school's record for the most wins in the school history. This is kind of just telling you, like others, what kind of program that this kid's coming from. Let's start it off with the kid's measurables. AJ wears number 5. He plays quarterback. He's 5'11", 180. He runs a 4.6. Boy moving. Benches 245 and squats 335. Let me talk about his career. This is an impressive career. As a 2-year starter, he's thrown for 4,071 yards. He's thrown 45 touchdowns in his career to 10 interceptions. All he could do is pass the ball. He's also in his career run for 1,510 yards, a total of 29 touchdowns on the ground. His total yards in his career is 5,581 yards. This boy in his career has 74 touchdowns. Sheesh. I've never scored in my entire career, and he's done it 74 times. I mean, I'm a lineman, but whatever. So this kind of tells you that this kid ain't no slouch. Let's talk about his junior year. One of his best games were against Demers, where he threw for 154 yards and a touchdown, but rushed for 206 yards and 4 touchdowns. Check it out.
Cock that motherfucker back, Kiwi.
And his second best, I guess you could say, just the second one I'm picking, was against Hudson Catholic, where he passed for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns, and rushed for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here goes highlights of that.
Cock that motherfucker back, Kiwi.
year, he was more of a rusher. He passed for 1,410 yards with 10 touchdowns, but only one interception, so that's not bad. 18 rushing touchdowns. So, you know, he was more of a scrambler, and he got the job done. And they had a good year. Now let's go into his senior year. This year, they decided to let him let it fly. He can still run, but they let him let it fly. This year, he passed for 2,552 yards with 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's passing the ball more, so it kind of makes sense. That ratio is still crazy. So he still ran a little bit. He only rushed for 475 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 of his best games. I'm going to go for the second best one first, all right? I'm choosing this one just because of the mere team that he's playing against. He playing against Wayne Hills. He threw for 257 yards with 3 touchdowns. Against Wayne Hills, that's no easy feat. If you don't know about Wayne Hills, Greg Olson played for Wayne Hills.
Sally got the sauce. Sally got the sauce.
Not Njoku, that's in the NFL, not David, but his little brother. Both his little brothers who both went D1. One is currently at Miami, the other one is going to UCLA. And yeah, he had a great game with 24 attempts and 17 completions. I had to throw that in there because it's crazy. But his best game was against Riverdale, defending state champions, where he went off on them a little bit, throwing for 375 yards, 5 touchdowns. Didn't rush much, or at least they don't have the stats up there. Go highlights for that. As you know, with him being as enthusiastic about doing this with me, and really appreciating this opportunity, which I feel like, you know, me just starting out with this, he's giving me the opportunity. I interviewed him, and as usual, I like what they say. And he got this to me the same day I sent him the questions. That never happens. My first question was, what made him choose Ithaca? Because Ithaca's a D3, and I'm not, you know, pooping on D3. College football is hard no matter what level you go to. I just feel like, you know, 5'11", he's not short. He runs a 4.6, he's not slow. So it's kind of surprising why he's kind of going to Ithaca. I feel like he could have slid to a D1 AA or a really good D2, which is a little surprising. Here's his answer.
Alright, so for the first question, why I chose Ithaca. I chose Ithaca for, you know, many reasons. But overall, I just felt the academics, the football, were just second to none, especially at the D3 level. I mean, the facilities are awesome, coaches are great, and I also get to go play with 2 of my best friends. You know, we're going there together, so really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great experience there for the next 4 years, and yeah, I really think I made the right choice, and I'm really excited to go play there.
First of all, if me and my best friend were had a chance to go to school together, we'll take it in R&B. I don't care if it's D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. I don't care. If my best friend got to go, if anybody knows, me and my best friend are like inseparable. You know? So I understand that you're going to school with your best friends, and that's really cool. Academics, love the fact that you brought up academics, super important. And I know about Ithaca a little bit. Actually, you know, where I coach at Emerson High School. And the head coach went to Ithaca, so he talks about it, and he loved his experience up there. So I feel like you have to do the same. I'm sure they only improved because he went there forever ago. Next question I asked him, what reason do you wear, the next question I asked him, what reason do you wear number 5? Because when I was in high school, I wore 52, and I switched to 81. I wore 52 for Ray Lewis, 81, I just kind of just picked it because they ended up switching me to tight end, and I wanted to wear 5, but 5 didn't fit me because I was 270, and the person that wore it was a quarterback, and he was like 160.
Why I picked number 5? When I was a freshman, the senior quarterback wore number 5, and I looked up to him and I tried to emulate my game off of him, and he was also a state champ. And so I just kind of wanted to keep that tradition going, wearing number 5 as a quarterback. So, you know, I wanted to rep that jersey, and you know, that's why I picked it, honestly.
That's dope, because it worked out. There was a senior that wore it and won a state, and you're a senior, you're wearing it, and you won a state, so that's a really cool reason to wear that number 5. I thought it was like a pro or anything like that, but you know, it wasn't. It's actually a cooler reason than mine, in my opinion. Next question was, what was his favorite game of playing in his high school career?
My favorite game was beating Wayne Hills this year as a senior. We couldn't really ever beat Wayne Hills. They always had our number. But it's a great rivalry. It's one of the top rivalries in New Jersey. And, you know, each year we always circle that game on the calendar. It's the one we want to win. And this year we went to their place and we beat them up. And, you know, it was really just awesome. And it was a defining moment in this year's team. And, you know, what we were able to accomplish. We all look back, and that Wayne Hills game was really stands out to us.
Honestly, I remember that. I remember hearing that you guys beat them, and once you guys beat them, I was like, yeah, they're winning states. Yeah, it's sad. Like, honestly, like Wayne Hills is a powerhouse around here, man. If you know anything about New Jersey football, Wayne Hills is a powerhouse. And for you guys to beat them and give them the business, and you gave them the business with 5 touchdowns. Says a lot about, you know, your team, which is why you guys won the state championship. My next question that I asked him, what is going to be his major?
In college, I'll be majoring in business administration, specifically studying like sports management. I'm going to try to stay in sports any way that I can, and try to use some connections with the alumni and all that to get a job in sports or be an agent or coach or, you know, wherever that takes me.
Yeah. That's what, when I was in college, a lot of football players, I'm not saying that you're being a typical football player, because to me, if you know anything about football, there's no real typical football player, because there's so many different characters. But you know, it sounds like you already have a plan for what you're going to do with that major. So, you know, just pursue it hard, find the good internships, take it, lock in. You seem like a super locked in kid. So, you'll do your thing on the field and off the field. I always ask about, you know, first varsity start, last varsity start. How was it? You know, give us, like, you know, some details.
My first varsity start was as a junior against Wayne Hills. You know, I was really nervous for that because, you know, again, Wayne Hills is a huge rivalry game, and you know, it was a huge game for us. And we started out hot. We went up 21-0 right away, and we ended up losing and blowing it. So, you know, for our first game, that was a tough start, but it showed us that, you know, we got to keep our foot on the gas, and so that was crazy. And then my last start ever was at MetLife Stadium against Summit when we capped off our 13-0 season. That game was just awesome. We were firing on all cylinders, and you know, to cap it off on such a good win at MetLife and finishing off an historic season, I couldn't have asked to end it any other way.
Super dope. That must have been crazy, nerve-wracking to go against Wayne Hills, especially knowing, you know, their program and how big their you know, their name is, and then for it to be a big rivalry at at that, like, and it's game one, it's your first start, it had to be crazy. To go up 21-0, and then lose, it's whatever. But it happens when you go against good teams, so don't sweat it. You got your revenge as a senior, so you win at the end of the day. You got a state championship. You know, seeing his numbers and, you know, seeing that he's not like a really small guy, kind of made me wonder, like, did he get any other offers? So I asked him, what other offers did you have this year?
Other offers, I never got a Division I offer. You know, I just never got one. I tried, I went to camps, but my size kind of hurt me. But I had some D2s, D3s, I had some, but I got it down to Ithaca, Tufts, and Muhlenberg. And out of those three, I just kind of thought Ithaca was, you know, where I fit best and where I could really envision myself playing.
All right, I understand that struggle. I was undersized. I'm 6'2". You know, and when I was a player, I was 6'2", played around 280, 290. So, you know, I was viewed as undersized. But I was a baller. You know, in JUCO, we had a gigantic line. 2 of them are in the NFL right now. I get it. The size thing sucks, but you know, it takes a special coach to want to take a shot on you, and they're missing out. So just go light stuff up at Ithaca. I know you will. You're a tough kid. The thing that tells me that you're tough is how much you rushed it as a junior, and then as a senior you came out and showed that you could throw it too. You know, most kids like believe that they're one thing and only do one thing, and you showed that you can do both. You'll be all right, man. Next question is, what is the hardest thing to play quarterback? Because it's probably arguably the hardest position to play on the field mentally. You know, to drop back, have to watch out for linemen trying to take your head off. Watch out for everybody trying to take your head off. Read coverages, find your, you know, whoever you're gonna throw it to, find your target. You know, and you know the plays and know what everybody's gonna do on the field. Probably the hardest position to play on the field, honestly.
The hardest thing about playing quarterback, in my opinion, is just having to stay calm and being that leader. You know, sometimes the moment gets big and you just gotta remain calm and never let the moment get too big for you. And sometimes that's hard because some games we played in were really big games, and being able to relax and just read the defenses I think that was definitely the hardest part of playing quarterback.
But you seem like a super chill kid. So, and as a quarterback, like, if you look at the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's, even the Cam Newtons, you gotta be laid back, man. You can't like you said, let the moment get bigger than you. At the end of the day, it's just a game. You gotta keep that in mind. I like your answer. I just wanted, you know, people that might not be super football fanatics to understand that, or at least know how it is to play quarterback. Next person I asked him was, because coming to find out, kind of forgot to bring this up before, he's a twin. This is the second set of twins I got. Well, this is the second set of twins that I got on my show, and this is kind of cool. But crazy thing is, he had another set of twins on his team, and I think they both were DBs and receivers, which is pretty cool. So I asked him, how was it playing with your twin? Because like I said in the previous episode, the Foley twins, I want a twin, and I find it super intriguing to, you know, play football together.
Playing with my brother, my twin, was great. Since second grade, we've been playing together. So, you know, to go through all those years of football together and sharing, you know, the same moments, you know, we'll be able to talk about them forever. I actually threw him a touchdown in Mellish this year in our last game, so that's something that, you know, we're always going to remember. It was really fun.
Next question: How was it getting revenge on Riverdale in another state finals?
Getting revenge on Riverdale was awesome. As a junior, they beat us in the state final, and we couldn't get that taste out of our mouth. And going into my senior year, our whole group, we were just motivated. That we used that loss as motivation, and I think that's why we were so good this year. We kind of had a chip on our shoulders because we really didn't want that to happen again. And being able to beat them in the regular season and then beating them again in the sectional final was awesome because they're such a great program. We have a ton of respect for them, and to beat them was really great.
I'm kind of trying to start a little thing where I ask the kids to kind of tell something interesting about yourself that's not football related, because you're more than football. And let me get a little bit into that. The reason I say that is because let's say you play football from like he said, 2nd grade all the way up to you're blessed enough to go to the NFL, right? So you play from that super young age and you make it to the NFL. The average lifespan in the NFL is 2 years. Let's say you have a 10-year career. Average player in the NFL gets drafted at 21, 22. If you play 10 years in the NFL, you still get out of football at 31, 32. You still got a lot of life to live. So that's why I feel like this is an important question to ask, so the kids can realize that they're more than just football. Some people don't think that they are.
Something interesting about me is I play baseball too. I love baseball almost as much as I love football. Not quite though, but I've always played baseball since I was like 5 years old, and it's something else that I really enjoy.
Okay, he's more than just a football player, he's a baseball player, which is cool. I always say, ever since Bryce Harper got that ginormous check, I always say that my kid probably not gonna play. Well, he's gonna play football, but my kid probably gonna play baseball, because if you get $250 million, or is it 300? That's crazy. So that's where the bread's at, and your body's gonna be intact after you're done. So I support baseball right now. Another question I asked him was, if you had to pick a quarterback in the NFL, who would you say your game is mostly similar to?
If I do pick an NFL quarterback that I'm most similar to, I'd probably say Russell Wilson. I watch a lot of his film actually, and I think being a smaller guy, we both have some disadvantages, but being able to run the ball and being a dual threat guy, and I think he's a very accurate thrower, and when he's got it, he tucks the ball, he makes plays, which I really try to do, just make the play and tuck the ball and run and be physical about it. I think that's what, if I had to pick a guy, he's probably closest.
Honestly, I knew that's exactly who you were going to pick. Probably because you're undersized, but the way you run the ball too. It's pretty dope. I hope we were on the same page with that. It's another episode of New Jersey Dogs. I like this kid's cool demeanor. You guys just follow me. You know how that goes. But follow him is more important. Like I said, another episode of New Jersey Dogs. Thank you for your time. Thank you for checking out my boy AJ. I'll holla.